Hey, we are live. I'm not quite rolling up my sleeves. I'm just turning the cuffs of the sleeves over because of my short arms. Mr. Short Arms needs to roll the cuff back or the sleeve feels weird. My arms are particularly disproportionately short for my head. My head is stupidly large for people who've never met me in real life. I can really freak people out with my hats. The vast majority of people, if I'm wearing a hat, and I have a couple of hats that I had to get from a specialty hat shop to fit my massive bonce. If I give it to someone else, I try my hat on. The vast majority of humans, it sort of goes and falls down to here on them because my head is stupidly large, which makes my arms look even shorter. And other weird things about my body. Compared to a lot of people, my torso is longer compared to my limbs. So, for instance, AZ and I are the same height. We're basically exactly the same height. And I'm taller than him sitting down because his limbs are more a normal person's proportions than mine, but my torso is longer. So if we stand up, we're the same height. If we sit down, I'm taller. Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, sir. Hello to you.
I was just bantering with myself, which is not a masturbation metaphor, although some people would say it is. Yeah. I was talking about height. See, Kirsten's also identifying with me, talking about short body parts and whatnot. So hi, Kirsten, and hi, Stella. But, because we are basically the same height, like almost exactly. But I'm taller if we sit down because I've got stupid short arms and legs and I've got a longer torso.
Long torso.
Yeah. So if we stand up, we're the same height. But if we sit down, I'm taller, which is weird. But anyway. And hello, Invisible Chicken, as well. So, and as you may be able to tell, I'm going to be making a video tonight. I've got my cocktail clothes on. So
I've got to come up with 10 minutes of stuff, which is just nothing.
Oh, like that's a challenge for you, honestly.
That's the point. That's
yeah.
The point. I could talk underwater with a mouthful of sayos for about an hour and a half.
Yeah. So depending, well, I actually will leave the ball somewhat in your court. We can do one of two things. I can switch my microphone off while I do it and you run everything. Maybe we could invite a couple people in to chat with as well. If you were feeling
fun.
Yeah, you're feeling so disposed? Yeah. And then I'll just switch my mic off because it won't be 10 minutes. It'll be like half an hour.
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
That's true, actually. They do tend to run because you've got things to do.
Yeah. The edited videos are between 10 and 15 minutes long usually, but it takes twice as long.
Shoot back.
Yeah, there's the gaps between me doing stuff. So, in fact, I'm probably going to try and make two or at least start a second one because I only made one cocktail video last week. And so I wanted to motivate myself to do more. So I'm going to do 3 this week. And I've got good themes tonight with the death. Ooh, hello. With the death tie is behold, I'm become death, destroyer of worlds. Tomorrow's the anniversary of the Trinity nuclear test. And I'm making a cocktail called the Atomic Bomb, which the folklore, when I did a bit of research on this, the folklore said this cocktail would be ordered in the bar of Vegas casinos that actually had a view of the test site, and they'd knock this back as a mushroom cloud went up. Don't know if that's true, but that's the folklore.
No, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. Because when the bomb came out, it was the fucking thing that Americans loved. And when they got told how much it cost, they said, fucking booyah, we've got that much money and we can pound these fucking Japanese into the ground. We could have pounded the Germans, be poofters and surrender. We could have pounded anyone into the ground because we're the strongest nation on earth. This represents us being the preeminent power on earth. We are going to name a swimsuit after it.
Yeah, they tried to make it all pop culture, like the tests on Bikini Atoll. I don't remember which way it went. It was either the tests were named Bikini Atoll was named after the bikini to sex it up, or they named the bikini after Bikini Atoll.
Was the place.
Yeah,
they did the tests. The public was the army and the scientists. Everyone was surprised at how into this the public was. They'd seen hundreds of thousands of boys killed.
Yeah.
And then they saw this one weapon which could blow up an entire city. And they said, drop those fuckers out of a fucking plane and our boys don't have to hurt. And the American public were all over it. They were going, fuck yeah, make 1 million of them. Make every motherfucker who ever rattles a saber at us again be fucking terribly afraid. Because remember, and I hate to say this because I do love a lot of things about America. I do. I really do. Yeah. America's a nation run by fear.
Yeah.
This is why you carry guns, because you're afraid. This is why they have the biggest army ×6 in the world. Their budget is set up so that they are spending more money than the next 4 largest spenders in the world combined.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
That is
more than everyone.
thing.
Yeah.
And so much of that money just disappears. Something like a quarter of it is black.
Yeah.
And you just go, Jesus Christ! With $1 trillion of black money, what couldn't you make? There are, this SR-71 got canned. And
I have no idea what it is.
Expensive. Well, it was because drones were coming on.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And no one knew. No one knew that drones were starting to be a thing. Satellites were good, but they were also beaming down to drones. At that point, drones were only single-point objects. Now, they run in autonomous swarms. And they run in regions until they're called upon to go and do stuff. And then one will peel off and do stuff and then call down as many as it needs. And then they'll go back to patrolling until they need to refuel. The rumor is, I don't know how true this is, the rumor is that drones are now air-to-air refillable.
That wouldn't be surprising.
The fuckers can stay up there forever.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be surprising because, of course, there's been air-to-air refueling of planes for a long time. Drones are a different kettle, but it would be. But yeah, you're spot on with you saying even if they're not air-to-air refueling, they're tag teaming their things. So I think the idea is no one's ever more than half an hour away from a drone strike because they just keep, rather than have to call them out when they go, oh, suddenly I've decided I want to hit this location. They're so constantly on patrol that at most they're half an hour away from a target.
And that's at most.
At most.
Normally 5 minutes. If the president says, don't we know this guy? Yes, we do. That's Turban Ali. Do we want to take him out now that he's on a motorbike on a country road? Yes, I think we do.
Yeah.
Have we got a drone? Turns out we're targeting him now.
Yeah.
Hellfire.
Yeah. Damn, y'all. Oh, hi, Annette and Bobo, by the way. Sorry, just saying hi to Annette and Bobo.
Do you know they were going to stop the production of the Hellfire missile? Because it was getting old. That stopped. They're now they're building another factory to build Hellfire missiles. Why? Because they fit so very, very neatly on drones. And they do their job so very, very well that there's no need to change them. It ain't broken. Don't fix it. Because the problem with the Hellfires is they were being spoofed by flares, by chaff, by all kinds of things. But the ones on the drones get pointed by a laser on the drone. So it goes, point where I shoot, shoot where I point, and bang, that's it. It's all over.
Fair enough.
It's fucking drones, man. The Chinese use surveillance cameras, but that's also to remind everyone we're watching you.
Yes.
But the Americans have got the world covered in drones. They know if you farted today, and my tally's gone up. I'm wearing adult diapers. They're well aware. Some of these drones have, I shit you not, osmo detection devices, which are smelling devices. What? Why would a drone need to smell? Explosives. It runs over a soap factory, and if it doesn't smell the right chemicals, that smoke factory becomes a pile of ash.
Yep, I get what you're saying.
Semtex gives off a particular smell. And so if they think they're storing Semtex in a warehouse, they'll fly a drone over it and go sniff, sniff, sniff. No, there's no Semtex in that, but there is Semtex in this one. I wonder how much big of a bang it will make if we put a Hellfire in there. Turns out a fucking huge one. They took out a port in, where was it? It was one of the stands. It was one of the stands. Anyway, they took it out, container port, blew up this container of Semtex. It fucking reshaped the port.
Right.
That's how fucking powerful Semtex is.
Love like
Reshaped
Semtex.
the port. Now, how am I going to get? Of course.
How are you going to do what?
How am I going to get fucking comments if I can't read them?
Yeah.
And of course, you're going to put people on with me so they can.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Let's cast an invitation then for anyone who wants to join. There's the linky poo. If anyone feels like joining us, and particularly keeping AT company while I'm farting around with cocktail making, got to make
I think
the atomic one.
Fart-arsing around.
Fart-arsing around. Yeah, okay. Fart-arsing around with a making a cocktail. Besides the atomic cocktail, I'm going to start with the one for the weekend because it's daiquiri day on the weekend. So, you like daiquiris? Yeah, very tropical,
It's
very
raining,
Hemingway.
man. Hallelujah, it's raining, man. I'll have a daiquiri, a tequila sunrise, and a chocolate soldier.
It is pretty 80s, isn't it? It is.
It's pretty gay.
It is one of the gayer cocktails.
Fish. It's as gay as a fucking regatta. It's fucking bent as a
bent as a bartender's corkscrew.
Well, it's not that bent.
it is a pretty gay cocktail, though. It absolutely. But I'm going to do a clarified one, so which means I'm probably only starting it tonight. It probably. Oh yeah, Fletcher. None of us are saying gay is bad. We are just saying a daiquiri is among the gayer.
Yeah, no one's saying gay is bad.
Yeah.
I'm saying gay is great.
Yeah,
Gay
but there's
fabulous.
There's. I was about to say, daiquiri is a gay drink. Old fashioned, not a gay drink. Although I think No, I think an old fashioned is sort of a repressed, in denial, middle aged gay guys drink. An old fashioned whiskey cocktail. But yeah, so I'm gonna do a clarified daiquiri, which will probably take a while, so I may not finish it tonight, but I'm starting it tonight. And I'm going to model it on the one called the Papa Doble, the Hemingway special, which is twice as much rum as usual. Kelly, hello.
Hey, Kelly, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
You all
Well,
rubbed
look
up.
at you, better. Hey, are you able to adjust your camera at all? You have
Yep.
adjusted your camera. I am looking at you and your. Is that a onesie?
No, it's an Udi.
It's an Udi.
Yep.
I'm loving an Udi.
Oh yeah,
I'm
Udis are
getting a
great.
bit jealous of an Udi.
It's very
Okay,
fluffy.
so I am in air-conditioned comfort. I will admit that. But I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, Kelly's got an Udi. Angry.
Yeah.
You look concerned. What are you concerned about?
Oh no. I'm just trying to get myself organized, as the saying goes.
Are you going to invite a couple more in?
I put the link. Anyone who wants to follow the link can do so. So we'll see who is up for it. Oh, poor Annette's saying she's lost the key to the liquor cabinet. That's
Oh no.
That might be your subconscious telling you something.
Annette, a screwdriver.
Yeah. In worst case scenario, a brick. You know, if you got to do it, you got to do it.
Yep.
I once got given a Tantalus by my then father-in-law, girlfriend father-in-law, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
And he said, "Oh, bet you can't get any but you can't get any booze out of that." And I was stuffing around with it for a while. And I grabbed this bottle of Jack and I pulled it and I smashed the bar of the Tantalus because I was a big juggling boy, right? I had fucking arms on me and I was an acrobat too. Fire breather, acrobat, bass man. I could lift two women simultaneously so that they could get into balance with the two women on top of them. Right, so I'm lifting 4 women so they could get balance, and then the other guy would stand up on top of me, and then they would all wave. Yeah,
Oh, that's insane.
And I was underneath it all, going, keep your back straight, keep your legs underneath. My legs had to be underneath his shoulders.
Yep.
So they had to be about a metre apart, and they had to be slightly teed so that I could wobble very gently and stay still. So I had to lift these 4 women up. Happily, they were already. I didn't have to clean and jerk. They were already up, and I just had to lift them up a little bit so they could grab on. And then the balance would take most of the load. But so I grabbed this bottle out of this Tantalus and gone smash. And I went, "Oh, I think I've broken it. I'm terribly sorry." And he's looked at it and gone, "That's 250 years old." And I go, "Oh God, oh God, can I get it repaired?" And he said, "No one in 250 years has managed to get into that. You could punch holes in walls, couldn't you?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I could." And my girlfriend, thanks, darling, and said, "Oh, yeah, he has at home." And I'm going, darling, no, not the thing to say to father-in-law. And I said, I had good reason at the time. I was chasing an electrical fault that was causing a fire. And he said, "Oh, yeah, did you find it?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I ripped the wires out and we were good. And he went, "Oh, okay." So anyway, Yes. You've lost the key to your liquor cabinet. Screwdriver in crack. You can lock pick it. Do you know how to do that? Scrape and pick. Or you can freeze it with liquid nitrogen.
If you've got it.
Well, the
Wow,
other thing
that's
you
a
can do is
radical move.
you can go down to your local IGA and get those
Kelly, is
bottles
something at your
of-
end causing an echo every now and then?
Is it?
It doesn't happen all the time. It just every now and then we hear an echo of AIDSy, and I'm not sure
Could
where it's
be.
coming.
No, I've got it up on my iPad, but I've got it muted. So
Okay, cool.
I haven't got a secondary source on.
No, I think the internet's just playing silly buggers on us. I think it's as simple
Okay.
as that.
So the other thing you can do is you can go to your IGA and get yourself some of that nitrous oxide, and get yourself a Technobong, like a spritzer, and then what you do is you pour the nitrous oxide into the lock from about that far away, and you make it cold, and then you light it, and the sudden thermal expansion will smash the lock, and then you're in. There are many ways to gain entry to simple lock devices. That's all I'm saying. Kelly, tell me everything.
Oh, what would you like to know?
Everything.
Where should I start?
Everything. Tell me everything.
Well, next week I'll be starting back at uni. I'm currently studying international studies.
Ooh, you're going to be a politician and a diplomat. Ooh,
This is my third degree. I have also done a creative writing degree and with a minor in Japanese, although I can barely speak any of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have also done a law degree. And so I thought Bachelor of International Studies would actually go really well with a law degree.
We compliment them. The last woman I met doing a law degree wasn't. She had 3 doctorates. She didn't. Her partner had 7 doctorates. He didn't. She was clinically insane and caused 6 people in the house to bail on their rental bond, on their rental contract, and leave the house.
Oh dear!
Just leave it. They were happy to pay 6 months worth of rent, just to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we've got this weird situation where there are 3 rooms in the house, because 3 of them just agreed to do it. But 3 rooms in the house where the owners, the real estate said, "Oh, can we let out the room?" And they went, "No." "Oh, no, can you hand back in the keys?" And they said, "No, we're renting the house. You told us we couldn't get out of our contract, so we're renting the house." And so as a result, we're keeping the keys until such time as we're moving out, and you're not having anyone in there. And so there's 3 empty rooms, and they come back every few weekends and clean up. And by the time they hand over, the place is going to be schmick. But no, they may not get double rent on their because this bitch was psycho, Kelly. This bitch was just psycho. She'd stand outside your room all night whispering curses.
Oh dear!
You're gonna die with 1,000 knives in you. you're going to wake up with a hunger that you cannot dispel except by eating pins and razor blades and shit like this all
Creepy
night.
ASMR.
And then she would scream and yell and, oh, for fuck's sake. And so in record time, we got her evicted, not because she was being a bitch and hitting people, but because the landlady was there with her dad, who used to be the landlord, but he gifted her the place because he's a good guy. And she said to the real estate agents, you two are fired for doing such a bad job, because she decided she owned the place, right?
Yeah.
You two are fired for doing such a bad place, and I don't want you in here anymore, bringing your chinga diseases in here with your chinga sicknesses. I don't want your fucking illnesses. And the landlady, you know how when women get really angry, their eyes go square? She had the square eyes on, and I thought, she is about to fucking punch her. And her dad moved in and grabbed her on the shoulders and just patted her and said, yes, we will go now. And when she came back 15 minutes later, she said, bitch is gone. Draw up the papers and expedite them. And they said, oh, it usually takes months. No, it's not. It's going to take weeks. And it did. We got her out of there in 6 weeks, record time. This is when coronavirus hit and everything was clogged up. They expedited it through the system while everything was clogged up. And the judge, on hearing all the evidence, said, yeah, she's gone. And, she was out. They also managed to get the health, the psych team in there for 3 of the 6 weeks that she was there to arrest her, take her back to rehab, let her go again, take her back to rehab. And so she wasn't there for half the time. It was fucking brilliant.
Yeah, was that the one that you said about that smashed the window or something? Yeah.
And she tried to set fire to the house.
Oh, yeah.
Not on one occasion.
Oh, yes.
Not on
multiple.
one occasion.
Yeah.
On a couple. And what her favourite trick was she liked to sit in her room with the door open so she could see people and smoke cigarettes inside. And you're not allowed to smoke cigarettes inside. And people would run past her room to have a cigarette outside. And she just intimidated everybody. And I tried to have a balanced approach, because even crazy people have got to live somewhere. But you know how there's nice crazy, and there's evil crazy.
Yeah.
There's nice crazy, normal crazy, and evil crazy,
and lost crazy.
Yeah, lost crazy is often normal crazy. Yeah. She was fucking evil crazy. She fucking meant harm.
Yep.
And she had revenge fantasies up the wazoo and a chip on her shoulder that was weighing me down. Because as you came close to her, it'd hit you and go, oh, you know, like those Chinese guys, you know, with loads on the poles, bounce, bounce, which I tried when I was building with my dad. And if you get it right, it's fucking an awesome way to carry loads. If you get it wrong, however, you break both the loads, and I got told never to do it again. Because, you know, stuff's more important than my health. Kelly, tell me more stuff. What do you do with your job now, besides study?
I'm just going to turn off my mic, but, you know, you continue on.
Yep. Bye.
Oh, hang on, Angry.
Yeah.
Can anyone else jump in?
No. Oh, well, okay. If I happen to see that someone's because I posted the link, if someone clicks it, I will see them there. So when I get to a pause point in what I'm doing, I'll add them in. So if anyone, anyone who wants to can, and I'll just post it one more time. So anyone who wants to join can join, but they might have to wait a bit until I get to a pause point where I'll notice them and click on the thing that brings them in. But yes, all right. So I'm turning off my microphone now.
See ya, bye. See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Let's talk about rude things about Angry.
Where do we
I know
start?
he's got a tiny dong. It's tiny. When you're talking micro penis, not even micro penis.
Yeah. I
Nano.
gotta say, I have seen some of those, and they can get pretty small.
I met a guy with a micro penis once, and he was awfully embarrassed. And I said to him, "You've had this all your life." And he went, "Well, yeah." And I said, "Dude," because he had bought my services, okay? Because he was so embarrassed about about meeting people and saying, "Oh, by the way, I've got a micro penis. Is that cool?" And I said, "We're living in the age of the internet," because it wasn't even mobile phones and Grindr yet.
Yeah.
We were living in the age of message boards. Just put up, you got a micro penis, and if anyone's interested, you're not into pain, you're just into sex, and you give good blow. And he said, "I'll try that." And then I didn't have him as a client for a month. And I thought, oh, I've offended him. And he's come back and he said, "Oh, it really worked. I've been getting tang all over the place." And a woman responded, and she was fascinated and gave me an act which led me to have an amazing experience. So yeah, thanks for your advice, man. But you're still the best, so let's do the thing. Away we went. But yeah, I also met a guy with a micro penis in hospital, because I've been in hospital a lot, Kelly.
Oh yeah.
Do you prefer to be called Clear Chicken, Kelly, or just Kelly?
Oh, Kelly's fine.
Kelly's fine.
Just so that people know which YouTuber I was.
Oh, I see. So you're not Chicken Broth Kelly, and you're not
it's actually
Kelly.
You're it's actually Kelly. An in joke.
An in joke.
Yeah. Me and one of my friends were just mucking around one day, and she just randomly goes to me, "I am a man," and I go, "And I'm an invisible chicken."
Clear Chicken Kelly. Clear Invisible Chicken Kelly. And of course, it's easier to write Clear Chicken Kelly instead of Invisible Chicken Kelly.
Yeah.
And, everyone knows, what's an invisible chicken? Well, it's a chicken you can't see.
Yeah.
Dickhead. So I met this guy with a micro penis, and he was there, and he didn't want to show the nurses his bits, right? And the nurses said, "Trust me, we've seen it all." And he's gone with much tears. He's opened his diaper, because he hadn't actually opened his bowels for 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
And the doctors
that's not good.
To get concerned, and they'd done ultrasounds, and they'd done bloody x-rays, and they said, righto, big guy, things don't get moving. So, and of course, he was eating food and vomiting up feces.
Oh, yeah, you would be by that point.
Well, I've done that. I've done that
Yeah.
after not eating for after not shitting for a week,
Mm.
and they said, dude, you've got to move this along, and he said, I can't. It hurts way too much. And so they gave him the traditional suite of laxatives, and there was just nothing doing. And they went, righto, we've got to strip you down and get you in this special chair. And he said, I don't want my penis exposed. And they said, well, it's going to have to be that way, mate. And so they've done that. And he was really ashamed. And they said, by the way, this is not the smallest micro penis we've ever seen. Just letting you know. And one of the nurses was really kind and said, do you realise that after about an inch and a half, a woman can't actually feel what's going on with a penis? It doesn't matter how long it is. There's not actually much feeling going on inside the vagina after that. So, unless you're bashing up against the cervix, which hurts, there's really not much effect going on. And I thought that was just a nice thing to say, but a lot of women have told me that. It's just like, nah, after about that long, there's nothing more to do. There's nothing more to talk about. And I'm going, okay. Anyway, so he was emboldened by that. And so then they put this apparatus in him. And they said, this is going to work and it's going to hurt. Now, when nurses say something's going to hurt,
oh dear,
you're in trouble. Because they never say hurt. They say sharp scratch, small prick, little bit of discomfort, free wax job, and it can be. I remember once they were doing an infection under my fingernail, and they said small scrape. Oh my God, a scalpel under the fingernail. Can you imagine how much that hurt? Anyway,
I don't want to.
And scratch open the bag. Then they had to withdraw the said scalpel. It was a double-edged scalpel, making it go in an S shape so that they got everything. And they had to go, this is the bit that's really going to go suck. And I'm going, now it's going to suck. And I've gone, you've put a bloody sharp thing under my fingernail and now it's going to suck. And so then they squeezed my fattened finger and all the glurg came out. And then finally a bag that hadn't been hit got hit. And it was like, oh, that's so much nicer. And my finger went right down. It was black, but it went right down. And they saved the nail. Later on when they did the toes, a different doctor did it and he fucked it completely. But anyway, so they've put the apparatus up this guy. He's very uncomfortable and he's, let's face it, quite fat. And they've gone, all right, it's going to hurt, but it's only going to be for like a half a second, and then it's going to be fine. And so then they've gone, ready, 1, 2, and they've got this bag there, and it's pressurized, and they hit the bulb, and the pressurized water goes in to the rectum and descending colon, and basically makes a whole heap of lubricating pressurized water behind the movement and pushes it out. and bang, out it comes. And of course, your ass stretches to the size of a basketball. This thing came out size of a football.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going, oh my God. And the smell was of dank river water that something had died in. Because you can imagine how long it's been up there for.
Yeah.
And he's gone, oh my God, oh. And he said, oh, you might want to charge it again. There's another one up there. And they've looked at each other and gone, right, we'll just put this one aside because pathology would want to look at it.
Oh, yes, of course.
And they've put it aside. And then I cannot express to you how big this bloody thing was. It was huge.
Yep.
It must have been 10 millimeters across. Yeah? Imagine that. 10 millimeters across and 30 to 40 centimeters long, you know? Anyway, so they've recharged everything and they've put it back up there and they've had a quick squeeze and they've gone, no, there's definitely something there. And they've put a shield over the pan this time in case it's just runny after effect. No. They hit him again. He screamed again. And another football's come out, bigger.
Oh,
this
wow.
one's 11 centimeters across and clearly 50 centimeters long. And he's gone, and they've gone, that's got to be feeling better. And he's gone, oh, yeah, no, there's another one up there. And they've gone, I don't know about this. And they said, are we allowed to do 3? And they said, we'd better, because we're halfway through. We're in it now. We can't stop.
Yeah.
And so then they got the equipment together, and then another one's come out. This one's a lot longer, but thankfully it's only 9 centimeters across.
Yeah.
3 buckets of these bloody turds have come across. Then they had to quickly get the next bucket underneath because all of the backed up liquidy stuff was just waiting to turn. You know, he filled up a virtually a 5-litre bucket with backed up turd from after the third huge turd. And we were just going, how do you not raise the alarm that you haven't had a shit in 4 days? How does that not be a thing? And finally, the noises of relief that he had when he finally got rid of what was inside. And then there came the most almighty fart that you've ever heard in your life. I swear to God, this thing took 35 to 40 seconds to come out of him.
Yep.
His actual belly shrank as this fart was coming out of him. Right?
Yep.
And the nurses were going, I just got to go and get her. I've just got to go and get her. I've just got to go in rotation. They had to get out of the room. The rest of us 3 poor buggers in the room going, we can't go anywhere. And this thing stank worse than the turds.
Oh, yeah, it
going,
would.
oh, my God. And one of the guys in the other bed says, can't you just set fire to that? And
He probably
the
could.
nurses went, "For Christ's sake, no one smoke." And he got a bit of a giggle out that. And as he was giggling, the fart changed tone. But this thing finally, it was just farting. Huge fart. You could see his fucking belly finally shrinking. He was a lot thinner than we thought he was. It turned out that he was carrying 15 kilos of turd with him. 15 kilos.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine that? A really big turd is like a really, really big one that you need laxatives for, is a kilo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 15 kilos he had in his system. And basically they were on him every day to get to the toilet and open his bowels. And he said afterwards, "I feel so much better." And then the doctor said, "Well, we're taking you now to the shower cubicle to give you a hycolonic because we think that we're worried that there's stuff up there that hasn't come. And it's not going to be pleasant, but it's going to be very useful." Anyway, he bounces out of the hycolonic in the shower, which they've scrubbed very, very clean so we can go back in there. And he says, "I feel like I could jump over the building. I feel that good."
Well, he just lost 15 kilos in a very short amount of time.
15 kilos. How good's that got to feel?
Oh,
and
plus all that gas.
Plus all. I mean, can you imagine the colic that was given him? The pain that was giving him, that gas.
Yeah.
And then it all just all blurred out. At the end of the fart was some more googlies, just waiting at the end, and then the last tiny fart, and that was it. The death knell of the fart. And so, I stunned at this guy's micropenis, stunned at this guy's ability to hang on to turd, not stunned at his inability to retain a long-term relationship or wife or children. He was also really creepy with the girls. He had these ideas about being the tough man. And so every time they said something nice to him, he would neg them. And one of the lads said, "Did you learn that in a book or something?" He says, "Oh, no, it works with them every time." And he said,
I can't hear you yet. I need to turn my speakers back on. Where's the button to turn my speakers on? Is it that one? No, it is not.
I don't know, man.
Is it that one? It's that one. It's that one.
Yeah.
Are you back with us?
I wanted to come and say hello because you're fabulous people, and I missed you. And I've done the first half of what I wanted to do. I've set up my Hemingway special Papa Doble, lots and lots of extra rum daiquiri. And also, I was because I saw there's lots of variations of a daiquiri. Like a standard daiquiri is just rum, lime, and sugar. It's pretty straightforward. But there's lots of people mess around with it a lot. And I saw these recipes that said, hey, you can put a bit of vermouth in, or you can put some white creme de cacao in. And I had 2 almost empty bottles I wanted to get rid of, one of vermouth, one of creme de cacao. So they both went in. So it's like...
Oh, by the way, Annette found her keys.
Oh, well, that's good news. That is fabulous news.
See,
that's what
I
it is.
knew that with Aidy's help and my good vibes,
Yep.
that she would find her keys
Hmm.
and that her booze would be safe. Her
That's what
booze
it's all
would be
about.
safe within her.
Yeah.
Annette, tell me the magic of relay chat. Why do you lock your booze away?
Kids, I imagine. She has young'uns. Right.
She still hasn't replied yet, so I'll let you know when she does.
Let
Yeah.
me know when she does.
I'm assuming it's about the
So
young.
anyway,
Yeah,
I
because
was
of the
just
kids.
telling Kelly about a guy with a micro penis who I saw do 3 football-sized turds.
Mhm.
This was in
Okay.
a hospital setting, by the way.
Hospital setting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it wasn't just a random occurrence.
No.
Okay. Okay.
No, there was
Okay.
It was in a
apparatus
hospital.
involved.
Okay.
Apparatus, but apparatus nonetheless.
Yeah, because of the kids, especially the 16-year-old. I also lock away the junk food.
That would also make sense to me. That would also make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I met a guy last time I was in hospital who was the father of a guy in the bed across from me, and he was 3 years older than me. Yep. How old do I feel? This kid was virtually grown. He was 23 years old.
Yeah.
Still living at home with his parents, and a real little shit. He was just an entitled little millennial prick, and
don't say that. I'm a millennial.
But you're not an entitled millennial prick.
Okay.
Kelly, you're lovely. You've got a hoodsie, you know, with the correct colour scheme for your beautiful face.
Oh, and it's got bunnies.
Hey? And it's got bunnies.
It's got bunnies.
Where's my glasses? Oh, here's my glasses. Oh, they are the cutest anime bunnies I have seen in
I know, right?
ages.
Yeah, I had to get it.
Hey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's it. You're my favourite hoodie wearing human in the world.
Oh, and apparently it's a Australian purchase too anyway.
Oh, there you go. Nice work.
Yep.
Oh, there wasn't some girl in Bangladesh going, I have to get 1,500 of these out by morning or Jamash won't go to school.
Yeah.
Do you think it's weird that China outsources to Bangladesh?
Yes, it is.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I was actually doing because as I said, I was doing international studies, and so one of the projects I was doing was a book. I've still actually got it because I haven't been able to go back to uni to return it, and it's called the gender in the South China Miracle: 2 Worlds of Factory Women, and it's about it was written about in 1998, and it's about a woman who worked in a factory in Hong Kong and a woman who worked in Guangdong, and the differences between the matriarchal familial sort of Hong Kong factory and the very, very awful Guangdong factory.
Yeah, it's matriarchal in the sense that it's staffed by women,
no,
but
I
it's
meant
run,
familial, not matriarchal, but yeah.
but it's run by men. It's
Oh yeah,
run
of
by
course.
men, and they are not happy men, and they are not pleasant men, and
Oh.
you're getting behind your 100 units an hour, and it's like I've got to put in 15 screws.
Yeah.
You know, they're micro screws with tiny little screwdrivers, and I've got to get gold pins all lined up. Yeah, but you've still got to get 100 done an hour. You're getting Dr. Week's pay. And that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, the crazy thing is about this book was the familial one. Eucaline, she was a mother and she was the line manager, I think. Anyway, her and the people who the factory has shut down and they no longer do this type of thing anymore, which is really unfortunate. But they felt really they loved working where they did because they could work 5 days a week. They could be home when their kids got home from school. If she didn't have breakfast before she came into work, she'd be allowed to go and have take a break, just go and have lunch, breakfast, and she would be able to take at least a couple of hours off personal time, no docked pay, if there was like a family emergency or something. And because of that, they self-regulated themselves so that they wouldn't exploit the system, and so they could keep it the way it was. And they chatted, they had a really great time. They'd be they'd be making fun of all the male workers because they were like, yeah, you may have a higher position than the line manager, but the line manager knows more about whatever
your job than anyone else.
Yeah, than what you're making than anyone else. So yeah.
All right. I'm going to interrupt quickly to say I'm going to leave you again. I just wanted to come back and say you're special and I missed you, and I'm going to make the second part of the video that I'm making now. And I also want to say hello to Savannah, who just came into the chat.
Hi, Savannah. How you doing?
And yes, just once more, if anyone wants to join the chat, there's the link. I might not see you straight away, but I will see you even if I'm somewhat occupied. I'm going to make my atomic cocktail and then come back and drink it with you. So
okay.
I'll leave you sexy people for just another squidge of time. And I'm just going to switch my speaker and microphone off again.
Okay. So there was a
my microphone's
in
still
China.
On?
Your mic's still on, buddy.
Yep.
Do thumbs up if my microphone's still on.
Someone's trying to message me at this disgusting hour. Anyway, there's a factory in China. It's run by IKEA. They experimented with going offshore, and they wanted to see, what was going on. Yes. Just tell me what you need and I'll get onto it straight away. I love you big time. Poo-poo head. Anyway, they set up this factory. Then the bosses went out to see it and they said, we do not like what we see. We are going to rebuild the factory next door on the land we own. And we are going to retrain the staff. and we are going to set things up the way we like.
Mhm.
And so first thing they did was they said everybody's to come to work an hour early.
Oh dear.
And they went, oh fuck, we're not happy about that.
Mm.
And the dorm people are not to make breakfast or eat any food in their dorms whatsoever, except for toast and snacks and coffee and tea like that, which we will provide. We will provide bread and butter and Vegemite and tea and coffee and milk.
Mhm.
Milk that, by the way, was imported from Australia.
Of
Because
course.
this is during the whole had some milk with plastic in it.
Mhm.
Unbelievable. Anyway, so everybody was not real happy about coming to work an hour early. And a lot of them were bringing their kids because they couldn't take their kids to school 2.5 hours early. And the
No.
factory said, great, bring your kids over to the creche. Your little kids can stay in the creche all day. The bigger kids have got to go to school. They can get on the bus. We take them to school. And they're going, well, that's all right. Now, everyone else sit down to breakfast. And they sat down to breakfast. And it was a big breakfast
Mhm.
with coffee and juice. And they're going, this is a bit big. It's a bit heavy. We'll all be going to sleep. And they said, no, we've done blood tests, as you know, and you don't have enough nutrition in you. You're all losing weight while you're at the factory.
Mhm.
And so then, instead of putting them straight back on the line, they said, these are the 4 different lines you'll be working on.
Mhm.
But we only work on one line. No, you'll be working on 4 different lines, and you'll be doing it expertly. So they taught them the tips and the tricks and the ways, because they got people over from, is it Denmark?
I'm not
Or is it
sure.
Sweden? I think it might be Sweden.
It might be
Yeah,
Sweden.
blue and gold, Sweden. So they got people all over from Sweden who they taught Mandarin so
Mhm.
that they could teach them what to do.
Mhm.
And they said, this is how we do this, and this is how
Yep.
to make it quick and safe.
Mhm.
These are the safety gear that we've put in so you can't fucking cut your fingers off, which we weren't happy about before.
Mhm.
And now it's lunchtime, and you all come to lunch, and lunch is prepared.
Yep.
Now you finish with lunch. Now at 3:30, the bus came to get the kids from school, bring them to the factory. There were activities and games for them to play. And then at 5:30, all the mums took the kids home.
Mhm.
Everyone's thinking this is a fucking great idea. And why the 4 lines? It's because what they'd noticed was, as production was starting to slow, they'd take them off that line and put them on a new line to refresh their brains. So they
Yep.
weren't being bored all the time. If
Yeah.
they noticed that there were personality clashes, they'd take them and they'd put them on other ends of the line
Yep.
so that they wouldn't have to talk to one another.
Mhm.
They also organised it so that they unionised the factory.
Yep.
They said the workers have got to have a say in the factory. This is communist China,
Yep.
the workers' paradise. So the workers were put on in unions, and the union was put on the board.
Mhm.
The union's role was to advise the board on how best the workers would be treated and trained on how to make a better profit for the company and a safer and happier working environment for everybody.
Yep.
Also, on wage negotiations, no one got a raise, because what was happening before was everybody was getting their own contracted wage, which
Yep.
of course is rife to abuse.
Oh,
The same
yeah, of
thing that
course.
happens in Australia. Exactly
Mhm.
the same thing that happens in Australia. You know, do you want an extra 50 grand? Yes, I do. Well, here's my cock. And all, you know, people like to say it doesn't happen. It happens all the fucking time.
Mhm.
You know, if you do this little thing for me, I'll do a little thing for you. And it's like,
Yeah.
you slimy prick. These bosses also go, well, the award says it's $10.50, which is
Mhm.
bullshit, because the award says it's $40.80.
Yep.
And which fucking you know, semi-literate worker has got the moxie to go through Hansard? Because I've done this myself. When I was going for my sorry, I just got to answer this.
Yeah, it's fun.
Call anyway, and I'll put you on air. Oh, no. Go back. Go back. On air. Exclamation mark. You'll love it. It's what all the kids want. Comma. It's the buzz. Comma. It's happening. Comma. It's now. Comma. It's gee whiz. Comma. It's space age, baby. Comma. Are you feeling me? Question mark. Are you feeling me? Question mark. New line. Do it, comma. Do it, comma. Oh, fuck you. Do it, comma. Do it, comma. Or you're a big fucking wuss. Full stop. It knows how to spell wuss, but it doesn't know how to spell space age.
Yeah. Kirsten? Yeah. Yeah. 11 out of 10. Softest thing. Really comfortable. I can wear it. I put it on basically as soon as it's cool enough for me to put it on. My
You're
Audi.
not talking about a condom, are you?
No. I'm talking about the Audi.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking all kinds of things that you could put on that were
No.
11 out of 10. And I was thinking none of them are things that you talk about on YouTube in front of lots of people.
Yeah, I'm actually ace. So, yeah, generally, like I can talk rubbish with the best of them, but yeah, it's not for me. So, like, I watch the filthiest. I've seen the filthiest stuff, but yeah, like, yeah,
It's more interesting rather than arousing. I
exactly.
didn't know that went there. I didn't know you could put that there. Surely that could be anatomically difficult.
Yeah, I have heard of a lot of things that are anatomically difficult.
Oh yeah, you've heard my most famous anatomically difficult story, haven't you?
I don't know. Maybe
It's
I
the
have been
guy that
watching.
was in hospital.
Yep.
The guy that was in hospital, and I'd gone to hospital, right? I was in there for suspected break.
Yeah.
Which
I was going to
turned out
say
be a
you being in hospital is not very helpful.
Thanks.
It could have been
Thanks,
many
Kelly.
times.
Thanks, Kelly. That's really nice. I was there for suspected break on my shoulder, collarbone, ribs, and head, and they turned out to be not suspected after a while.
Oh dear.
Anyway, the crack on my head was so tiny. It was such a hairline crack that they didn't even bother to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Which I was really lucky about.
Mhm.
And then there was this big commotion as all of the staff started running toward this cubicle with all
Mhm.
giggles happening. They were suppressing giggles,
Yep.
and I noticed that they all gathered around this cubicle without being seen from the cubicle.
Mhm.
Right? They were all around it without
Mhm.
being seen from it. They weren't involving themselves, but they were also hiding. And then the sheet was sort of pulled halfway across, you know, the soundproof curtains.
Yep.
And the guy said, "Look, okay, I put it up there for sexual pleasure, and now
Oh yes,
I
this
can't
one.
get it out. That's the story." And they
Yep.
all went away going, "Oh, oh." And they're
Yeah.
all so disappointed, like, you know, because they expect to go, "I fell on it while gardening. I was
Oh yeah.
climbing through the sink and it got stuck up there. I was, you know, I was climbing through the kitchen window and it got stuck up there. I was in the shower, and then suddenly it tripped over the top of the shower, and bizarrely I slipped on the soap and it got stuck up there. You know, like, you know, how many reasons
like
things got stuck up their ass.
yeah.
You know, I was trying to see if you could drink Coke up your bum. I did know a guy who shelved 3 eckies once,
Mhm.
and shelving means to put him up your bum,
Okay.
okay? And to put him, there's a shelf in your
Mhm.
bum. If you're prepared to put your finger in there, it'll go in there, right?
Yep.
And it won't actually pop out again.
Mhm.
Anyways, shelved these 3 eckies, going, you know, will it work? And of course, it didn't fucking work. So he then took 3 eckies, and about 4 hours into this party, boom, they came on, and his friends were all laughing because they're going, "How you going now? How you going now, Jamush? How you going now?" And he's
Mhm.
going, "I'm going, and he was just hammered. And he
Yep.
said, "Jamush, this is our gay friend Azy. This guy was a massive homophobe. We want you to give him a massive pash." And he went, "Okay." And he gave me a massive pash. And I said, "Jamush, your mouth smells like roll mop, because basically you're Norwegian in Origin, and you had roll mop for dinner. And I like roll mop, but not secondhand." And I said, "Have you got any salmon?" He says, "Yes, I've got salmon." And he went through his backpack and he pulled out Norwegian fucking salmon. And we all
Why
went,
would you have that on you?
"Be fucked. Why would you have Norwegian salmon in your backpack?" And so we opened it up, stuck it on the grill, and we all had chunks of his Norwegian salmon. It was a huge can. There must have been like 8 fucking fillets of salmon in there. Anyway, in the morning, when he was starting to come down and make sense, we said, "Why have you got different varieties of Norwegian fish and canned breads? Did you know you can can breads?
Yes,
Did you
canned
know you
bread.
can can bread?
Yes.
Why have you got different varieties of Norwegian canned foods in your backpack?" And he said, "Oh, what if you ever got caught somewhere where you had no food.
Yeah.
And I said, when in the fuck would that happen? And all his mates sort of went quiet, and they sort of went a little bit a little bit, let's not look at Adrian and walk away. And I've gone, I might have fucked up here.
What have you done?
And it turned out that his grandfather was in the Norwegian resistance. They caught him and they stuck him in a concentration camp in Germany with the Danes. The Danes had an orange octagon, and they gave him a purple octagon. And he was basically being watched 24 hours a day. And he said, they are going to kill me if I don't get out of here. And he ran basically through the barbed wire, the don't cross this line or we shoot you. Through there, he had a pair of scissors, which he'd fashioned into tin snips. He cut 1, 2, 3 lines through the fence. He ran through the fence. He copped 4 bullets in the back.
Oh, dear.
And he kept on fucking running. And he ran through the woods, and he was basically in prisoner uniform with 4 bullets in him, no food and no water. And he basically was able to survive on snow that he'd melted in his mouth. And then, this is great, I love this bit, he found a bear, right?
As you do.
As you do, that was eating a salmon. So he came up to the bear, stole its salmon. The bear's sort of looking at him going, are you out of your fucking mind? And then he smeared the salmon on the face of the bear, over its ears and under its neck, and then run the fuck away and up a tree. And the bear's gone,
okay,
you've just put my dinner on my face. I'm pissed. And he waited and he waited and he waited until nightfall. And then the wolves came smelling the salmon and attacked and killed the bear. They had their feed. And he basically came down and ripped bits off the bear, made a fire, Christ knows how, made a fire and ate bits of bear. And he said it was the worst meal he'd ever had.
Oh, yeah.
But he felt so much better afterwards. And he said what felt even better was now that he had food in his gut, he could have a shit. He had a shit and a dog came up and ate it. And he killed the dog and ate it, which was much, much tastier. And he said he now understood the Chinese. And he said, so always make sure wherever you go, you've got a bit of food on you. And apparently all the family take a bit of food on them. And I went, right, so there you go. There's your reason. I'll just duck out now.
Yeah. As soon as you said that, I thought he's going to it's going to be Holocaust survivors in his family. It's very World War II behavior. Like Russians who survived the siege of Stalingrad or something.
Yeah, it's shit like that. And as soon as I said it, and his friends walked away, and I thought, there's going to be numbers on fucking forearms here. I've fucked up badly. And mind you, this same guy was ready to shell Becky. So
so who's the real clown here?
You know, how much fucking sympathy can one give?
Yeah.
I'm just talking to my boyfriend.
That's okay.
Yes, comma, yes, comma, yes, comma.
Yes, comma, yes, comma.
Do it,
is that like
Go
text you're doing now?
Say good night to everyone, you slack bastard. Or I'll call everyone that I know and tell them that your new name is Poo Poo Head. Exclamation mark.
By the way, Atomic Cocktail is actually pretty good. It's
Cool.
vodka, brandy, sherry, and traditionally it's topped with champagne, but I don't have champagne. I also don't like champagne or sparkling wine. So I topped it with sparkling cider from the good folks out past Geelong, the Flying Brick people. Mrs. Angry and I often go out that way, the Bellarine Peninsula, for weekends away and whatnot. And besides making very, very, very good cider, the
But
people
you go
Flying
out
Brick
there
do
for
good food.
twitching, don't you? You go out there for bird watching.
No, I go there for the booze and the food, basically. So,
No, but it's not. It's an innocent weekend. It's
oh yeah,
nothing-
yeah. No. It's not what some morally compromised people call a dirty weekend. No.
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 No,
It's
no,
a
no,
lot
no,
of
no,
bird
no, no,
watching,
no.
twitching, wine tasting, cheese
Yeah.
tasting,
Yeah.
cock tasting.
Well,
And,
for real though, the food and drink out that way is exceptionally
good.
good. Flying
Pretty
Brick is one of my favorite ciders, and they have a restaurant. They do very good food. Last time we were out there, we discovered a gin distillery as well, and did a gin tasting. And they've got whiskey on the go, but of course, whiskey takes years. So whereas you can literally spit some gin out in days, I think they took longer than days to make their gin, but whiskey takes you a couple of years. So they've got some whiskey on the go, and who knows, when this COVID bullshit is over, they might have some whiskey we can go out and taste.
3
Cool.
years is the minimum it takes for whiskey to take on colour.
Dude,
and-
okay, sorry, you keep going, but I just want to say, I've got to remind you, if you're ever bored and looking for stuff, there's a YouTube channel called Whiskey Tribe, and I think you would love it. These two mad Texans who've set up this distillery and whatnot, and they experiment with what happens if you put vodka in a whiskey barrel, and does it take on? I think you'd really like it. The Whiskey Tribe.
What I want to do in case of, Obama's destroyed the world.
Yes.
Remember there were all those survivalists who came out and said Obama's shit's going to hit the fan because the niggers are going to come and kill us all.
Yes.
And they started making their cabins in the wood and making non-petrol engines with smoke and all kinds of crazy shit because Obama was going to basically make it illegal for white people to live.
Yes.
And stadiums were having fences put around them so that they could round up the white people.
That was their favourite, the stadiums, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, one of the things that fascinated me was that if you could make your own alcohol,
yes,
if you could make your own high test down to drinking alcohol, which is the same stuff. It's the same stuff taken out of different sections of the mash. Sorry, now I'm talking terms. Okay, you distill a section of booze.
Mm-hmm.
The first bit is so high in intensity that you can't use it to drink.
Yep.
You have to use it to clean. And then the next bit is very, very high intensity. You're best off using it to burn. And then your next bit, you can sort of play with it. You can use it to burn or drink. But they usually use it to drink. And then your last bit is pretty weak. So what you do is you put that back into next mash.
Mm-hmm.
What you can also do is get the same whiskey that with same booze that you've got out, and you keep it and you re-distill it, because there's always a tiny bit of water left in the distilled alcohol. There's always a tiny bit of water, because remember, alcohol boils off at a different temperature to water.
Yep.
But these are averages.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine a bell curve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some water is going to boil lower. Some water is going to boil higher. Some alcohol is going to boil lower. Some alcohol is going to boil higher. So what you do is you patiently redistill this stuff 2, 3, 4 times, and your purity goes up and up and up and up. Now, after about 3, 4 times, you're diminishing returns. You're not going to get any better. It's it just becomes impossible. You've got to have space age laser technology to make it work. But at that point, you've got alcohol that's so high in content that you can sell it to perfumeries. But what you can also do is you can trade it. It is a good way of making grain into a keepable substance that you can trade. You can use it for cleaning. You can use it for cooking. You can use it for heating. You can use it for drinking. You can use it for antisepticism.
Disinfectant.
Hey?
Yeah.
Disinfectant.
Disinfectant.
Yeah. All distillers started making hand sanitizer in these troubled times of ours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where it bloody comes from. That's where your hand sanitizer comes from, distilleries.
This is a distillery bottle.
They have this gelling agent that they put high test alcohol in.
Yeah.
And basically you squeeze it on, and the heat takes away the gel, and the alcohol hits your hands, and then you can put bloody skin helpers in and all kinds of stuff. You can mix it up with all kinds of crap.
Yep.
But
mix it with aloe.
basically, if you've got alcohol, then you have a skill which then basically you can translate into "don't shoot me, I'm useful." Then what you do is you put together a sample pack, and you go into a group of unlikely hard men with guns, and you go, "G'day, boys! Everyone gather round." And they go, "Who is this dickhead?" "I've got alcohol here to give you." And they say, "You can't sell it to us. We're just going to take it from you because we've got guns." No, I'm not going to sell it to you. I'm going to give it to you. Click, click, click. Open your bag. Now, here we've got this. Here we've got the heater. Here we've got the cooker for the little wife at home. Yeah. And all of a sudden, during your show, you've got people going, "Actually, this would be good," because the wife has been opening cans of cold peas for ages. If I got her a stove and a heater to put the kids next to it at night, she'd think I was bitch shit hot, and I might get a root. And then if you got some disinfectant and she could clean the place, she'd think I was shit hot. And then you get people going, "Well, how much for a box of everything?" And you go, "Well, whatever you've got to trade." And then what you do is they say, "Well, I haven't got anything to trade." And you say, "Well, you've got your labor, you've got a gun. I want you to come to my place with your gun and your labor and provide me security." Because the next thing you want to do is open a pharmacy. The next thing you want to do is get a doctor. The next thing you want to do is take over a mall and get some electricians in and make either a coal-fired or a gas-fired generator to get electricity to the mall. And so you've got heat control, right? And you get all the old people to take care of all the kids and to read them stories and to play games. And you get all the adults to go to the supermarkets and divvy up food so that everyone who comes past with a family gets a bag of shopping. Everyone gets a bag of shopping for free. And the next time they come through, they've got to write out an IOU, and they've either got to trade something for it or they've got to trade labour. There's a mall near my place which is ideal because it's got a block of flats living above it. And what I then start to do is get people from the slum areas in, put them in one of the flats and go, now, you owe me rent and you owe me labour, and I will give you all the cool shit as long as you work here. Then what you do is you set up a hospital, and all of a sudden you've got lots and lots of people coming to your urban centre. You set up all the people who want to steal methadone. You say, no, boys. You've got to stay around here. You're going to wear this T-shirt that says safety. And what you're going to do is you're going to stand outside the chemist all day, and if someone looks like they're going a bit stupid, you go the nuck. But in the meantime, you're here to protect little old ladies. You're here to make sure the kids are safe. The other boys, we put security on them. And the security boys, they go outside and they have tools with them. Basically, the security boys are there as your outside threat, and the safety boys are who little kids can come up and say, I want to go for a wee, but I can't find my mum. All right, come on, we'll take you to the toilet, but we've got to find your mum as well. And then they can put an announcement over the speaker, where's mum? And she's obviously in the supermarket working, and then she can race out and help. You know, when safety goes in to take our little kid to the toilet, there's another safety that goes with. Look, it's all very simple to do, but it starts with alcohol.
Am I the only one who's worried about how much thought AD's put in to being Lord of the Wasteland?
Yeah, especially when it got to people with guns and weapons and stuff like that. Yeah.
So AD, be honest. Are you more the Lord Humongous, or are you more Immortan Joe? Which Lord of the Wasteland are you?
What's Immortan Joe?
Immortan Joe is from Fury Road. That's, you know, the guy with the face mask and the Perspex body armor. Humongous is from Mad Max 2. He's the guy. He's the bodybuilder with the hockey mask.
Right.
And Immortan Joe.
More as what's a really good example? What's a really good example of someone who started with think of me as Uther Pendragon. Who
which version?
A block of land and said, there's grass growing on this land. Hey,
hi,
Lee, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, AD.
Story and going, how awesome would it be to live in that society?
Yeah.
Because what the whole idea of that society is that people could come inside and feel safe. And then what we do is we put them up in guest rooms in the bottom floors of the flats, and that would only be temporary. That would be only for a couple of nights, where they had a shower, we'd wash their clothes, we'd set them up with a feed, and then they go, righto, now you're out, but you can come back anytime you like, and if you've got something to trade or you want to work for us, feel free. And then we have people who basically turn up and say, I've run out of things to trade. And it's like, all right, we'll take your labour. Because what we'd also need is we'd need mechanics who would need to start getting the cars going, because they'd need to get out to the distribution centres to get food in. We'd also have to get car mechanics to get out to the market gardens to do deals with the guys out there to get the fresh food in. Now, all of these cars would need shotgun riders on them. Because if you've got a truck full of food, you can bet your ass there's a lot of other people who would like a truck full of food, please.
Yeah.
Except they wouldn't be saying please.
No.
They would be saying
Yeah, I'm also curious, where is this location?
Oh, I was thinking Northcote Mall.
Just because it's across the road from your house.
Just because it's near me, and I've worked out all the ins and outs and where the generators are and how to get into the block of flats. But,
like, you're saying you need, like, guns and stuff to protect food trucks and everything. So I'm wondering, is it really this dangerous?
Well, imagine your whole society's broken down.
Oh, yeah.
In America, they'd eat themselves. In Australia, what would start to happen is pockets of this would start to fall. Communities would start to get together and look after themselves.
Post-apocalyptic, we're talking about.
And then they'd start to link up. Because the first thing that happened eventually was the cops would roll in and you'd go, boys, thank Christ you're here. Come on in. Come to the communal sausage sizzle feeding ground. Have a feed with us. Tell us your stories. Tell us how long you're going to stay. Tell us your plan for law and order around this area, because this is who we've got, but we've got to integrate them into what you've got going. And the police were going, we were just coming to, nice sausage. Because remember, a lot of those lads haven't eaten for a couple of days either. And if you give them their authority, they will give you their fealty.
Yep.
And so then you start to make these pocket societies which start to grow, and people start to go, you can go to the Northcote Mall and get fed, and with something to trade, you can eat, or they'll cook it for you right then and there. And they have services which will set you up with somewhere to live that's safe.
Yep.
They have services which look after your kids while you're trying to do something to survive. They have bloody a chemist which is working, because the other thing you do is you go out to the you get the chemist to say where are the drug depots, and you take the very armed truck out to the drug depots and you fill up and bring that back, and then you'd get doctors. Doctors would eventually turn up to your community and you say, guess what, you're staying here. And basically you'd have the doctors and the pharmacists, because the other pharmacists eventually go, I'm really hungry. I know the mall's got food in it, and all of a sudden there's people everywhere handing out food, and then their boss going, come back to work. And all of a sudden you've got your pharmacy running again. You've got your boys who go the knuck, because you've only got one of those roller doors open, and only 3 people are allowed in there at a time. And if anyone looks a little bit dodgy, like they've got a coat on in summer, then safety stops them and security comes. And they walk them aside to the dark room and they say, we'd like you to strip your clothes, please. I don't feel like we will punch 4 kinds of fuck out of you if you don't do it. And if you pull that shotgun you've got under your arm...
Sounds like my father-in-law
Sorry?
would do. Sounds like something my father-in-law would do.
Well, this is it,
Insecurity.
And basically, they say, you want drugs, right? Yes, I'm hanging out. We can get you some methadone. What do you want? I'm not on methadone. All right, we're going to start you on 200. Oh, thanks. And then
Alexander is actually putting in
find out what skills they've got.
All right, AT?
Yeah.
Alexander's actually putting in a formal application to be pharmacist shotgun rider. So, the tribe's building, mate.
You're in, mate. You're in. What we need is 3 white vans with no markings on them, like preferably Mercedes vans, because they've got the pallet doors on both sides and one on one back, and we'll drive them into the depots. and if there's anyone at the depots, we will organise a trade balance. The white buckets where the old drugs get taken back, they don't get taken back. Basically, they get recycled. Drugs that are out of date are a little bit in date for about 3 years.
Yeah.
Little hint there.
We've also recruited Kirsten to be head of logistics, and Alexander says he can sort the white vans this weekend, so we're all set.
Kirsten, you are in the office, basically. Oh, Kirsten, you are my right hand gal. Kirsten, I need so many things. I've got a list of things I need. And basically you can sort that. If you need as many safety boys as you need, we'll get them for you.
Yeah.
There's one safety boy who's going to be treated as an unperson. We have people around the place that we treat as unpeople. There's a guy
like my doppelganger
at the moment, and his trick, he's apparently homeless, I don't know, but his trick is he goes around with a book and he is a toe cutter to homeless people.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
How low can you get? How low can you get? He intimidates homeless people out of their money.
Yeah, no, that's not good. And for those who don't know, toe cutters, that's an Australian criminal world term for the person who does the heavy work of collecting debts. And it was traditionally a thing they literally did with either bolt cutters or just a decent pair of tin snips. They would take a toe from someone who wasn't coming through with what they owed.
Sounds like someone I've met.
Hey?
Sounds like someone I've actually met.
Chopper Reed.
Right.
Chopper Reed
no,
was
not
a toe
Chopper
cutter.
Reed.
No, I'm just
No,
saying
I mean,
Chopper Reed was a toe cutter.
The other
These
guy.
toe cutters, what they do is they don't do any crimes themselves. They go to other criminals and say, how much money are you going to give me? How much money are you going to give me? And then the criminals have to give them money just to not get either injured or killed.
Yeah.
And so there's a safety guy who would be persona non grata, and unfortunately would be using the Kodacha method of justice in the sense that a couple of the security men would be taking our persona non grata people away from the community, and they wouldn't be coming back.
Yeah.
Anyway,
hey, dude, have you ever seen the absolute landmark US drama series The Wire?
No.
I'll have to loan you the discs because it is the US drama series of the last 20 years. It's 5 seasons. The Wire is cops putting a wire on phone taps, basically. So, and they're in Baltimore, like one of the worst crime areas of the US, trying to break down these drug gangs. There's a guy who's essentially a toe cutter. The character's name's Omar, and he's so fucking scary. It gets to the point when he goes to a drug house, he literally, if he knocks on the door and says, it's Omar, they will just throw their money and drugs into the street so he can take it. Because if he comes through the door, he's fucking killing everyone.
So they just open the door, throw the money out, and then shut the door.
Yeah, yeah. And he actually gets bored because he actually likes the danger and the violence, but he's so scary. People just go, fuck me, it's Omar. And they just, here's the money, here's the drugs, please don't kill us.
So it's a little like, oh, hi, Omar, just a second. We're getting it. Here we go. There you go, man. Thanks. Have a good night.
Yeah, that sort of show. I'll have to learn. I've got it all on disc. I've got it all on disc. I'll loan you the discs.
In the hospital that we'll set up in the Salvos and Sydney's fashion department, which we have no need of. They're going to the free clothes section of the Kmart, because people will come in rags, and that's not dignified. The idea is safety, dignity, security.
Yeah.
Okay, and then finally, when you build those things together, you get community. And
Yeah.
once you've got community, you've got people willing to fight for community. Because once you've got these things in a land of chaos,
Oh yeah.
once you've got these things together and you've got a place that you can go, I'm with people that have my values, in the sense that we all help, we will watch each other's back, and we all give each other mates rates and discounts, because the IOUs are just bits of paper anyway. And we're all putting in skills and labour, and then some gang of thugs goes, oh, we want all that. All of a sudden the community goes, no, you can't have that. My children are safe in a creche. My old people are watching the children. All of the safety guys are up the front, and I am behind them. I'm a male / female of voting age, and I can help them. And all of the women who are handing out food are making sandwiches for the guys up the front with the guns. And then you've got the guys on the top with the radios going, I can see another group coming from the west, and then you organise your police to go around that area. At one point we're going to have to make a bullet factory in one of the more secure areas. We're going to have the drug storehouse in one of the more secure areas.
That reminds me of something I saw on Wish.
Yeah?
They were selling a legit gun. Like, they're advertising on Facebook and everything. I'm just like, seriously?
Guns.
No, I mean, fucking, the only reason you'd get a gun is to be pointing it on the outside. You're not pointing it on the inside. The people on the inside are there for your protection. This is why I want to have guys in black T-shirts that say safety, and guys in black T-shirts that say security. The guys in black T-shirts that say safety are all the guys that are the ex-junkies. They're the ex-hard men with the tattoos that go the nuck, right? And when you give those guys, see these children, they're your responsibility. You must keep them safe. If you give those guys jobs, responsibility, connection, and respect, you will be amazed how much they respond to that. They respond to that very, very well. Security, you go, right, you guys have got the slightly upscale job of making sure that everyone on the inside does not get fucking hassled by anyone on the outside that's decided to get full of a bit of bad manners. You make sure that they go away quietly and discreetly. And safety are the people that the kids and the women can run to and be herded into a safe area, and then be fucking surrounded and protected. Security can then ring around them and protect them. And you'll always get one old Greek guy who's 95 who's got a stick and go, come on, bastards, I'll get you fucking poofed, malak, I'll fucking get you. Come here. Come on, Mr. Popopoulos, you got to go back. No, I get these bastards, I fucking killed him. And you go to the safety guys, can you help Mr. Popopoulos fucking kill those guys? Yes, Mr. Popopoulos, you mind these glass doors, because bastards will come through there. I killed him. Good man. You're a good man. And so you get security to ride shotgun on the white vans. You get security to ride shotguns on the Coles trucks. The Coles trucks, there's always a Coles truck there. So what you do is you find diesel for it, and you can find diesel off a lot of things.
Yeah.
You'll find me using the word find off. Where did you find that gun? I found it off a shop. I found a lot of guns off a shop. Where'd you find that gun? Off a dead guy. Was he dead when you found him?
Does that matter? He's dead now.
He's dead now. He was dead when I got the gun.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
die. It
He
happens.
was, when I got the gun, he was dead.
What's the old Monty Python line? Let us not argue over who killed who.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And then someone,
Monty
"Bring out
Python,
the
biggest
dead,
sticker.
bring out, I'm not dead.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah, you're not fooling anyone.
Yeah, sure. Boom. Okay.
I did actually, going back momentarily to The Wire, Kirsten did point out, Kirsten's rewatched all of The Wire at the start of the lockdown. And AZ, I will have to give you the discs. I've got them all on disc. You should be able to stick them in your laptop and watch them. Kirsten pointed out, Omar doesn't even knock on the doors. He just whistles as he walks down the street. And then the lookouts go, Omar's coming. And they just put the drugs and money out.
Yeah.
Scary. He's
That's-
that scary.
Oh man.
I was going to say, yeah, they wouldn't even want him to, they wouldn't want to wait and go, no, wait, I've got to, because that might be a bit too much time.
Yeah. So basically,
Yeah.
Omar gets bored that everyone just gives him stuff. So he just ramps up what he's doing so people start shooting back. So,
Wow.
Well, where's this
That
Omar
is-
when I need him? Because some person's trying to steal my identity.
it's his doppelganger. It's the doppelganger, AZ. It's the doppelganger.
I hope not.
You didn't want to say anything, Lee.
No, it is. It's the doppelganger.
You're giving me the shits, man.
And there's someone in Melbourne
yeah,
too.
I'm in Adelaide.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
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 It's the doppelganger. AZ
You're
AZ
looking
seen
tired
him,
from
Lee.
your
AZ
flight,
seen
buddy.
him.
You're too looking tired from your flight, buddy. That's all I'm saying.
But we're not even allowed in Victoria because of COVID.
Yeah.
Unless you've got the special fucking red card with the Australian seal on it saying SAS, here to fuck up AIDSy. That's the name of the mission. Here to
I
fuck up
No,
I
I
have-
don't have that.
I have heard if you arrive at the border and they go, nah, and they go, oh no, I'm coming to fuck up AIDSy, and they go, okay, through you go. There you go.
Seriously.
You know.
Gaslighting aids ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Kelly.
Oh no.
They're all gaslighting me. They're all telling me lies. Like, no, I better not.
Oh
I was
no.
about to go into places which were really
Yeah.
very wrong.
Look at how clear my daiquiri is. It was very orangey brown when I started, and I'm going to filter it a second time so it'll be even clearer. But it's
Are you
almost
gonna?
That's
put
almost-
your daiquiri
That
in
looks
the
clear.
traditional-
Like, yeah, no
It's also
color.
clear.
it's almost clear. I think when I filter it a second time, it will be. I thought it would be yellow, but it's actually coming out very clear.
Are you going to put it in the traditional ice shavings? Or are you
I'll
gonna do
probably, well, it depends. See, sometimes people serve daiquiris up. They shake it with ice and serve it up without ice. Other times it'll be in a tall glass with crushed ice. Yeah, some people do actually the what do you call it? The Quickie Mart squishy, the frozen version of a daiquiri. Because this is a very elegant one. I might chill it in the fridge for a day or so and then just serve it like straight up in a nice glass so it looks very cool. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Well, I think I already know who's been doing it. He looks
Just give me a
nothing like
second.
me.
Just give me a second.
So, yeah, Lee, who's been doing what?
Stealing my identity to do
Ah.
things
Yep.
like applying for things under Telstra under my name and sending it to Melbourne when Telstra's like, but Lee's got a prepaid with us and he doesn't live in Melbourne.
Mm. Did they tip you off?
Yeah.
Well, that was good of them. They're on top of it. That's good to know.
And I went
like,
to the bank to
You're our customer, and someone tried to set up an account in Melbourne. Was that you?
Basically, yeah. I'm just like, no. They're like, we need you to prove you are who you are.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I'm the Eggman, they are the Eggman, I'm the Walrus, goo 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 goo.
Well, I'm glad they tipped you off. That is actually
Yeah.
good on their part.
It is.
Got to give them a thumbs up for that. Oh, you got someone boisterous there.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
my-
what is that?
8-year-old son.
Yeah, very boisterous. That's good, but that's good in an 8-year-old. Enthusiasm and
Yeah.
verve is good in an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh no, Kirsten wanted to buy some op shop glassware, but all the op shops closed. With the
Oh,
lockdown. I know.
so sad. My mum works at an op shop and they're open.
Oh,
But
okay.
we're in Queensland.
Yeah, I think in Melbourne they might have closed.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So we've yeah, it's a bit rough here. Bottle shop's still open though. Fuck yeah. Kirsten, did you notice? For whatever reason, Dan's is continuing to do random specials on Starwood whiskies. They've got like $5 off twofold, which I've got twofold, and also that's not a very good special. But I'm just keeping an eye out if they do the single malts on a big special again. I'm definitely going to get it. Otherwise, I'd buy straight from Starwood because fuck Dan taking a margin off small distributors.
Oh, no.
But if it's a big, I'm mercenary. If it's a big special, if it's $15 or $20, I'm going to go, sorry, but that's 15 or 20. But if it's $5, it's like, no, I'm going straight to the independent rather than get it through Dan's. I only get stuff through Dan's if it's from a big maker or if it's on a really big special.
Oh yeah, there's one drink that I used to like, and they had a really good ad for it.
What was that?
It's like, hey, I'm not a lumberjack or a fur trader. I don't live in an igloo nor eat blubber nor own a dog sled. Don't know Jimmy, Sally, or Susie from Canada, although I'm certain they're really, really nice. We have a prime minister, not a president. We speak English and French, not American, and we pronounce it about, not a boot.
That's the weirdest cliche about the Canadian accent, because one of the cocktail channels I follow on YouTube is a Canadian guy, and it's very obvious they say a boat, not a boot.
Yeah.
It's become the cliche to say Canadians
That's
say
because
boot.
he's East Coast. That's because he's East Coast. The East Coast says a boat. The West Coast says a boot.
Have you seen
No.
Canadian Idiot?
Sorry,
By
what was
Weird Al Yankovic? Canadian Idiot by Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh,
I
no.
haven't. No.
Yeah, he did a
Really
parody of
happy.
American Idiot.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good.
And then, like, with this ad, then he, like, goes, I can proudly sew my country's flag on my backpack. I believe
Well,
in...
joke that Americans sew a Canadian flag on their backpack when they travel, so people won't hate them.
Pretty much.
That's the old trick, the North American accent. You go, no, I'm really from Canada, but I'm not sure how it works. Safa, no, the bottle shop. If the bottle shop's shut, Safa, that's Armageddon. We can't be having that.
Societal collapse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Kirsten says, but
And then
no,
it's like-
I'm actually pretty happy with ordering stuff to be delivered. It's fun. You order and then presents arrive.
I know, and I'm getting a couple of deliveries a day now from Australia Post. I'm like, wow, what's going on?
And it's not just booze. I got some shirts from one shop. I got some sheets today.
nice.
So I mix it up. It's just 90% of the deliveries are booze. But
90% of mine are books.
excellent. That's an excellent thing to be getting delivered.
I certainly hope you're
Yeah,
not
my
getting anything from
dad's
J.K.
very
Rowling.
concerned, though.
What are
I
you
have-
into at the moment, Kelly?
Pardon?
What books are you getting at the moment?
Oh,
Me? Sorry.
I get a fair few different types. I get the anime. I also get manga. Also get light novels, which are like Japanese books, novels that have like 10 pictures in them, also pictures, and they are. It's called a light novel because it is written with simpler language.
Yes.
Anyway, but I've got so many different types. Like one's about this middle-aged guy who it's called the Saga of Tanya the Evil. Anyway, he gets in. He was a human resource manager, and he middle-aged, and he fires this guy. And the guy got really upset. And he's like, "No, you can't do that. I've got a family and all that." And anyway, the guy ends up pushing him, the human resource manager guy, in front of a train.
Okay.
Because he fired him. And then the guy, just before he dies, he has a conversation with God, who is concerned that people don't worship him. And he's like, yeah, well, it's because people don't see it, like, don't think God is as necessary anymore. And so he's like, so God's like, oh, if you saw God as being necessary, if you were in a really bad situation, would you believe in me? And he's like, I think you're getting the wrong idea here. But by the time he said that, it was too late. He got sent to an alternate world as a baby girl, and whose name is Tanya. And by the time I'm going to call him a he because he's still mentally a guy. And he actually has some sort of disassociation with Tanya. But by the time he's 9, he's in the military. Okay. By the time he's 12, he's a major in the military because he was a really military-minded, and the book is basically set during an alternate universe world version of World War One.
Okay.
Oh, no.
That's all kinds of wild.
It is. It's super wild. And people sometimes compare Tanya to a Nazi, but not a Nazi.
That's okay. All right, AZ, you need to come in and say goodnight because it's bedtime.
Well, bloody hang on.
That's why I'm just giving you some warning.
From doing my bits yet.
I know, just to give you some warning. Oh, I want to just acknowledge Annette's got it right. The best fun is when you forgot you ordered something online and it just shows up and you go, ooh.
Oh, it shows up.
Nice. And I'll just say one.
I didn't organise 15 boxes of outside condoms. I did.
What was your one, Kelly?
I was just going to say, and I've also been exploring a lot of LGBTIQA fiction.
Nice.
And so
isn't that the
a lot of those
fucking thing? Bloody, I saw a film called, it was either Hello Simon or Simon Says.
Love Simon?
Love Simon. It's the sweetest film. The book's great too.
Yeah.
But, it's the sweetest film. And there are bits in the film that surpass the book. There's a bit in the film where his mates have got the shits with him.
Maybe. They're actually making a TV show.
Oh, okay.
On Disney Plus.
This will be like Fringe all over again.
Cool. What? Anyway, it's time to say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night, everyone. I still got to work tomorrow. Bye. You're all fabulous.
Bye.
Hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye.